Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Friday. It is the 15th of May, and I am back for Chart of the Day video number 32. How are you today? The sun is shining. It's going to be a nice one today, and then rain comes back tomorrow, so we're going to enjoy the sun while we can. I am running really late. It's almost 10 o'clock. Got here early. I was here by 8:15. Chose my chart, had to choose floss, fabric, then Amy called, so I had to talk to her for a while, and then my phone rang again, and it was my sister calling from the parking lot. She was next door picking up dog food for the dogs, and I haven't seen her in, I don't remember when the last time I actually saw her. I've talked to her every day, but so I stepped outside to the parking lot and chatted with her a little bit. So I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. Okay, let's get back to the business at hand. Quarantine question. Who would you choose? I was a little surprised by the results, just because everyone either wanted to be by themselves, or a lot of you chose people who had passed on. I think one person mentioned Michelle Obama. So it's kind of all over the place. A lot of women chose their husbands, which surprised the heck out of me, because a lot of them would prefer not to be quarantined with their husband, I would think. But no, a lot of people said their husbands. So anyway, thank you for responding to that question. Today's chart of the day is a new one from the Drawn Thread called Those Who Sing. I love Drawn Thread charts. They do not sell well here. I don't know about in other shops, but I think a lot of times it's because they have some specialty stitches in them, and that can be somewhat scary for people, including myself. I do tend to avoid things that have specialty stitches, mostly because, not because I don't think I can do it, it's mostly because I don't learn by reading, and I look at the charts and it's like it might as well be Greek. So I think if someone could show me, then I would be fine. But just trying to do it from a chart would be difficult. And I know there's probably online videos, but again, I'm left-handed, so I stitch a little different from everyone else. So I don't know. But they do give good instructions for the different stitches. So I think any reasonably intelligent person should be able to figure it out, unless you're like me and you don't learn by reading, which doesn't make us unintelligent. It's a glitch in the brain. So anyway, the chart calls for, it's not real large, it's 81 by 209, so it's long and skinny. It calls for 32 count summer khaki, and their model was stitched in dinky dyes with a couple of needlepoint silks thrown into the mix. They also give a conversion to do Gentle Arts. So I didn't have the dinky dyes. I have just very few dinky dyes in stock. Actually, probably I would have had a lot of these. But I would have been missing about half of them. So I just went with the Gentle Art thing, and just kind of then what I didn't have in Gentle Art, I just kind of picked my own colors. So I'll go over those with you. So I had the Freedom that's called for, and I had the Butternut Squash, and I had Blue Jay. I did not have brandy, so I went with whiskey, just keeping it in the alcohol family. Carriage Black I didn't have, so I went with black coffee from Classic Colorworks. Dark chocolate, I didn't have, so I went with the this one, Caterpillar from Classic Colorworks. Claret I had. Faded Rose I didn't have, so I went with Secondhand Rose from Classic Colorworks. Cucumber I had. Espresso Bean I didn't have, so I went with Blackbird from Classic Colorworks. And then Ruby Slipper I had. And then it calls for 2 DMC, 3828 and white. So that's your color palette. I'll have to remember to write this down.
Hi, Julie. It's Deidre Ron from List. If you want to give me a call, I can give you my credit card. I tried to call and you're either on the phone or something, so it's 507
Okay.
523.
Sorry. So that's your color palette. Calls for Summer Khaki, which looks like this. It's kind of a greenish undertone, beige, tan, or whatever color you want to choose to call it. And so that would be your colors on there. I also haven't looked at this one as closely. Let me look at it and see what I think. It's all right. Not necessarily my favorite, but would work in a pinch. This is Vintage Tundra, which is kind of a bluish greenish color. And then would be fine. Brightening it up considerably. This is, oh, it's that word I can't, plein air, P-L-E-I-N, plein air. It's a Zweigart fabric, just a very pale blue. I think everything would be fine on there. And just raw natural, of course, which I think is my favorite of all of them, is the raw natural. So, looks good. I did want to read the words on this, kind of difficult to read. So it says, "Those who wish to sing always find a song," which leads me to my question of the day, which is, can you sing? I mean, everyone can sing, but I mean, can you sing? Has anyone ever told you you could sing? My mother could sing. I don't think any of us kids got that talent. I sing because I like to sing songs, but I don't think anyone really wants to hear me sing. So I did kind of always want to be a singer, though. That would require me to stand up in front of people, which I don't do, ever. No. Even this still stresses me out to record a video, so no. Being a singer for a living would never work if I had that talent, which I don't. So that's my question. Can you sing? Can you legitimately sing? Do you have that talent? I want to thank everyone for their continued prayers for Abby. She gets tested tomorrow morning, like I said, and hopefully her results will be back on Sunday, if not Monday. So continued prayers, please. And I haven't talked to her this morning. I'm assuming she's doing okay. Pretty sure if she was showing symptoms, she would have called me. So we're going to go with she's doing fine. What else do I know? I did want to mention briefly, again, I want to thank everyone for their continued support and their orders. But I did want to mention briefly, for those who are trying to order fabric on my website, I sell fabric by the square inch. So when it says fabric is 0.07, that's per square inch. And you have to know how many square inches to put in the box. And there's no place for you to tell me, like say you know you want a, hold on. It is after, well, it's not even 10 o'clock, so hold on. Okay, sorry about that. This is what happens when I get in a rush. So let's say you're going to order, you need an 8x10 piece, which is 80 square inches. You would put 80 in the quantity, but there is no way on my website for you to tell me that you want it cut in an 8x10. And there are other ways to get to 80 square inches. So, and there's also no way for you to know whether the 300 square inches that it says I have is in a pieces large enough to do your 8x10. And the problem I'm running into is people are just ordering, and they're either ordering 1 square inch and then sending me an email and saying, oh, by the way, I want that 11x13, but they've only paid for 1 square inch. So then I have to contact them and say, okay, I do or I do not have that size, and oh, by the way, you owe more money. So what you need to do is call me first before ordering, or send me an email, and I can look and see A, if I have the size you need, and B, let you know what to put in the quantity box. And that's the way that's going to have to be. There's no other way. If I was strictly an online store, I would go to selling by the fat eighth and fat half and quarter and that. But I'm not, and my customers, local customers, prefer to buy by the square inch, and so that's how it's going to be done. And I know it's a little confusing, and I know it's not very convenient, which I apologize for, but that's how it's got to be. I tell you, I'm not meant to make a video today. Between the phone, the mailman, my sister, and Amy, nobody wants me to make a video. So, and I don't remember where I was at. Just about ordering the fabric, and I'm sorry, it's a pain in the butt if you're doing it online. But they can't get it, they're not going to configure it just for me. And they cater more to quilt stores who sell by yardage. So that's how they're set up to do it. I may or may not get a chart of the day done tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. The shop really needs a good cleaning, and I may just take the hours between 8 and 10 when I'm usually working on this, on the video, to actually do some dusting and clean the floor and that kind of thing. So we'll see. Maybe I won't feel like cleaning tomorrow. But I'm going to go because the phone is ringing off the hook, and I will talk to you, if not tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe Dan and I will do a video on Sunday if possible. So it'll either be this weekend or Monday. Have a good one. Take care. I hope all is well in your world, and get some stitching done. Bye-bye.